Yo, what's good YouTube, man? It's Clutch. We back out with another video, man. Today's video, I got you guys with this prime Kevin Love build in NBA 2K23. Now, before we do get into this video, man, I just want to give a shout out to SSJ Sal215. He's actually the one that requested to see this Kevin Love build. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make this build. Now, of course, we are on the Minnesota all-time Timberwolves for Kevin Love. Most people, when they hear his name, they probably think of Kevin Love on the Cavaliers, especially in 2016. If you guys remember, in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, with like less than a minute left, Kevin Love got switched on to Stephen Curry, and he played like the best defense of his life. He literally clamped up Stephen Curry and made him shoot a terrible shot. Whenever I think of Kevin Love, that's what I think of personally. I know you guys probably do too, but this is actually prime Kevin Love. Of course, when you make one of these builds, I just want to check over some of the stats so it gives me a pretty good idea of how to create this build. Now, he did have a 72 layup, an 80 staying dunk, which is perfect. Of course, that does unlock pro big man contact dunks. Not the best driving dunk. He had a really good close shot, and of course, we know Kevin Love was a really good shooter. He was like a stretch four, really good mid-range and three ball, good free throw. He was a post player too. As you guys see, good post hook, good post fade, good post control as well. What else has he got? He's got pretty decent pass accuracy. He has a 77, which is pretty good. He wasn't really a ball handler, of course. And then he has pretty good interior defense, isn't bad either. Now, it's crazy here. It says he does have 30 perimeter, but again, whenever he got switched on to Stephen Curry in that 2016 NBA Finals, he had 99 perimeter, all the defensive badges on Hall of Fame. It was crazy how he locked up Curry. Like I said, when I think of Kevin Love, that's the very first thing I think of. It's just crazy that he has a 30 perimeter defense, and his steal's pretty low. He actually has a pretty low block too, only at 59. He does have really good rebounding. We know Kevin Love definitely was a really good rebounder. What else does he have? He wasn't very quick. As you guys see, he only has a 30 acceleration, a 65 speed. That's actually kind of slow. He was pretty strong, 92 strength, 70 vert. Alright, so that gives you guys pretty much a general idea of like how to create this build. And let's just take a look at some of his badges real quick. So he had Masher, Aerial Wizard, and stuff like that. Let's look at his shooting badges. I'm actually surprised he doesn't have more shooting badges, especially with his ratings. He does have Hall of Fame break starter, so that's something to keep in mind, as you guys see. And then over in defense, he actually does have Hall of Fame rebound. Okay, so with this in mind, this gives me a pretty good idea of how to create this build. So let's get straight into the builder for this Kevin Love build. Alright, now moving on to the Kevin Love build, this is how you create it. Of course, he was a power forward, he was right-handed, and his jersey number on the Timberwolves was number 42. So make sure you guys do that. Alright, moving on to the actual build. Now, of course, he was 6'10". On the Timberwolves, he was 243 pounds. And the wingspan, I'm not sure exactly what his wingspan is, but I went 7'5" wingspan because I'm going to have an 85 mid-range and an 85 3-ball, and then body shape doesn't really matter. Alright, moving on to the attributes for this Kevin Love build. Make sure you guys can copy it down just like this. So the close shot, now he did have a 96 close shot. I just took it to a 93 though, because as you guys see, 93 does unlock another badge point, plus you do unlock Hall of Fame Fearless Finisher, which is a really good badge. Now you're probably saying, why don't you go 95 or 96 like he had? I would do that, but as you guys seen, he only had Gold Masher. He didn't have the badge on Hall of Fame, so I don't think there's really a point of going 95, 96. If you want to, go ahead. I think 93 is fine. And the driving layup, he had a 72 layup, so I just went 70. That does unlock the best layup package for the big man, dominant big man layup. And staying dunk, he had a 55, so we actually went one below that to a 54 for the extra badge point. And staying dunk, this is actually perfect. He did have an 80 staying dunk, which is a perfect threshold. That does unlock silver rise up and the pro big man contact dunks. And his post control, he had a 94 post control. I just put it to an 87 though, because as you guys see, that does unlock all your post scoring badges on Hall of Fame. We do have limitations with the builder. We cannot go 99 on every single stat. Alright, now shooting. Now, he did have a 90 mid-range. Unfortunately, the maximum I got to was an 85, and same thing with the 3-ball. He did have an 88 3-ball. I think 85 is really, really good though. You're going to be able to shoot really, really nice with this build. 85 mid-range does unlock Hall of Fame amped, also gold blinders, and then of course the 85 3 gives you silver agent and silver limitless range. So like I said, you will be able to shoot really, really consistently with this, and you can like do post fadeaways and stuff like that. And then the free throw, we put this to a 73. All right, now moving on to playmaking. As you guys seen, he did have a 77 pass accuracy. Now, there's really no point in going 77 because all you unlock for that is Hall of Fame Special Delivery. We don't really care about that badge, so that's actually perfect. We did go 76 for the Gold Break Starter. He actually did have this badge on Hall of Fame. I didn't really go for that though because he only had a 77 pass ac, so I went 76 for the Gold Break Starter, which is pretty nice. All right, now moving on to defense. Now, he did have pretty good interior defense, an 88. I put to an 85, which I think is really all you need, because NBA 2K2's actually tested it out. They said there's not much of a difference from an 85 interior to a 99, so we just went 85. Now his perimeter, he only had a 30 perimeter, so don't touch that. And the steal, I didn't touch the steal either. His steal wasn't really very high. It was like a 50 at the maximum, so I didn't touch it. And the block. Now, he had a pretty low block. I'm not gonna lie. He only had a 59 block, which only unlocks silver chase down. In my opinion, I think that's way too low. So I gave you guys a 71 block, and you're probably wondering why 71. It's an extra badge point, plus that does unlock bronze anchor. I know his block was a 59, but I'm telling you, if you don't have at least anchor on bronze, people are just gonna score on you in the paint like nothing. I feel like you gotta have the badge at least bronze minimum. So I took the block up to a 70. I couldn't go with the 59 block, especially on a 6'10 power forward. That's just too low in my opinion. Even this is kind of too low in my opinion. All right, moving on to rebounding. He did have Hall of Fame rebound chaser, a really good rebounder. So I went 89 O board for the extra badge point. And then the defensive board, I put that to a 94, which of course does unlock Hall of Fame box out beast and gold rebound chaser. I know he did have Hall of Fame rebound, but he actually didn't have a 99 defensive board or offensive board. So I think that's still pretty good right there. That's really good rebounding numbers. All right, moving on to physicals. Now, he only had like a 65 speed, I believe, and his acceleration was like a 31. I think that's too slow for a 6'10", so I put the speed to a 70. Even that's a little slow, so we just went 70. Leave the acceleration alone. He did have like a 30 acceleration. And the strength, he did have a 92 strength, so I just took it up to an 86. I think that's really all you need though, because 86 strength, that's going to be a 90 with gym rat. Plus that also does unlock gold brick wall, which is pretty nice. Now the vertical, he did have a 70 vertical. I took it up to a 65 because that's all you need for the pro big man contact dunk animations. If you want to go 70, go ahead. And the rest is going on to stamina. You're gonna be having a 90 stamina, pretty much all you guys need. And as you guys can see, this is the build right here. 20 finishing, 24 shooting, 9 playmaking, and 21 defensive for this prime Kevin Love build on the Minnesota Timberwolves. As you guys see, really solid build right here. Really good finishing, high close shot, you got contact dunks, good pulse control, you're an elite shooter, 85 mid-range and 3-ball, and you do have really good defense and rebounding. Like I said, the block isn't the best, but you do have pretty good interior, the best interior defense in the game with bronze anchor. I think you should be fine there. All right, moving on to takeovers, we do get sharp, rim, glass, and post score. Now, personally, since we only have a 70 block, if it was me, I probably would throw on a rim take primary. Yeah, because I don't want to be getting babied in the paint, so I personally would throw on paint intimidation. Another good alternative to that, if you want to be more of a post scorer, you could throw on post shot daggers, advanced post moves. We know post take is really OP. Definitely could do that. I think personally, I'm gonna throw on the post take secondary. Like I said, if you want to swap this around, go ahead. Or if you even wanted to throw on limitless range, you do have silver limitless range. If you throw on one limitless range takeover, you can actually pull from half court with this Kevin Love build, which is crazy. So just keep that in mind. You do have a lot of good options. That's just what I'm gonna recommend personally. And as you guys can see, this build is similar to Derek Coleman, Karl Anthony Towns, and Jaren Jackson Jr. Now, I'm being honest, it was really hard for me to get that Kevin Love comparison. I tried copying his build like stat for stat. Whatever I did, I just could not get his comparison. The closest comparisons I got were Dirk Nowitzki and Zach Randolph. Unfortunately, I don't know if they have Kevin Love in the comparisons on this game. I don't think so because, like I said, I tried a bunch of different builds. I didn't get his comparison, so I do apologize for that. It does have a pretty rare build name, as you guys see. This build is called a 3-level scoring glass cleaner. Really cool build name right there. And I am going to show you guys the badges real quick. This video is already kind of long, so I'm going to go over this pretty quickly. Alright, so this is what I would recommend for finishing. I think this is actually pretty good right here. Now, if you don't care about Slithery, you also could maybe throw on Dream Shake or Postman Technician. If you want to add 3 extra badges for Hall of Fame, go ahead. Other than that, I think that's actually pretty good for finishing. Now, I'd say the only debatable badge is Limitless Range. If you don't really care about shooting from that deep, you obviously could take this badge off, and then maybe you could throw on Hall of Fame Amped, maybe some Space Crater, maybe even Silver Agent 3. I like having Limitless Range, but if you don't care from pulling from deep, you could take that off and put on some other badges. So here's what I would recommend for playmaking. Now, I did want to show you guys this also. We do have Silver Quick First Step with our 87 Pulse Control, so if you do not care about Bailout, you also could throw that badge on and call it a day. I like having Bailout, so I'm going to recommend this personally. I'm just throwing that out there though. Alright, so this is what I would recommend for defense. Now, the only other thing is you do get Gold Brick Wall with this build, so if you are going to be setting screens or if you just want the badge, you also do get Pogo Stick on gold. The only other badges I would take off, if you don't care about Chase Down and Pulse Lockdown, then you could actually get Silver Brick Wall. You would just have to add 1 extra badge for the gold if you want it. If you don't care about that, then I would say you at least want to add at least 1 badge for the Interceptor on bronze. It depends what you want. If you want Brick Wall, then you probably will have to add 1 extra badge for it and take off Post Lockdown and Chase Down Artist. But that's pretty much the end of the video, man. That is the prime Kevin Love build in NBA 2K23. Let me know what you guys think about this build in the comment section below, man. If you guys have any other NBA players or just builds in general that you guys would like me to make, please let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll shout you out right when the video starts. I really do appreciate all the support recently, man. Make sure you guys drop a like, subscribe if you're new, and I'm out.